It is Nottingham Forest hosting Chelsea at the City Ground as Ange Postecoglou looks for his first victory since taking over from Nuno Espirito Santos. It has been a torrid start for Forest under the new boss, and a victory here would ease the pressure temporarily. As for Chelsea, Enzo Maresca's press conference was all doom and gloom, with Cole Palmer and Benoit Badiashile ruled out until December. But after 18-year-old Estevao Willian scored in stoppage time for a massive 3 points against the champions, will that be the catalyst for Chelsea to put on a winning run? Estevao's on the bench again today as Maresca has been forced to ring in the changes. No Moises Caicedo in the starting 11 for well over 45 game stretch, where Moises Caicedo was the first name on the team sheet for us. A rest for the Ecuadorian after his heroics against Liverpool just before the international break. Good to see him get finally a bit of rest to just take his time and then go again for this part of the season where Chelsea really have to pick up momentum going forward. Nottingham Forest will be fired up here. Nothing has gone their way since Ange Postecoglou has taken over. We are seeing a shift here from Postecoglou going with the back five in his last couple of games, and that continues as well against Chelsea today. Morato, Milinkovic and Murillo as the three centre-backs for Nottingham Forest, with Neco Williams and Alexander Zinchenko as the left wing-back. Elliot Anderson, Ibrahim Sangare. The players are going to be taking a knee here. And that front too really does scare me for Nottingham Forest. Taiwan Awonye and Morgan Gibbs-White as we're up and running for the start of the early kickoff straight after the international break. Well, the script is written, isn't it, for Chelsea to fall here, but we cannot afford that to happen here. Fast start needed. Need to make sure that take control of the situation early on. Again, no Enzo Fernandez or Moises Caicedo in the starting 11 for Chelsea, and that has not happened often under the new regime. Good to see Achimpong getting another start here. Him and Trevor Chalobah as the two main centre halves. Achimpong will be playing as the right-sided centre half by the looks of it. Here's Malo Gusto. Ooh, that's a risky pass here, and Taiwan Awonye could give us a massive problem, but it's a skewed effort, and that all comes from Chelsea's own mistake. It's a loose giveaway to begin with. Nice play here, but Malo Gusto, that is a suicidal pass, trying to find Reece James. Instead, it is to the Nigerian on his left foot. Not enough power nor direction to try and take that away from Sanchez, but not the start that Chelsea were looking for. No Palmer, no Caicedo, no Enzo Fernandez. These are huge misses for Chelsea. Here's Cucurella though. He has been one of the cornerstones under Enzo Maresca. Trying to find Joao Pedro, who's dropping deep as per usual. He's been excellent for us, but in the last month has been a very tough time for Joao Pedro. Not recording shots is a cause for concern, and that's a huge call with Chris Wood on the bench for Ange Postecoglou, but it's a useful option on the bench, isn't it? About 60, 70 minutes when the game is a bit stretched. Someone like Chris Wood, who is a lethal finisher, mind you. Here's Pedro Neto, starting in as the right winger for Chelsea. No Estevao Willian, still being taken time and patience to really give him a run of games to start with. Feels like he's knocking on the door, but I think it's the right move here from Maresca. We need to manage likes of an 18-year-old who's going to have to settle into this new league. Here's Chalobah to Achimpong, who was absolutely brilliant. And this is a cause of concern here when this shape is adopted by Chelsea, where Trevor Chalobah becomes the left-sided centre-back. And that's when Chelsea really do struggle to build out from that side. Like to see Cucurella there. Oh, beautifully worked there. Nearly past Elliot Anderson. And they do manage to get the ball back. Here's Murillo. Midfield 3 for Nottingham Forest is going to be really powerful. Douglas Luiz, Elliot Anderson and Ibrahim Sangare. They will really give Nottingham Forest that base, that platform to allow the forward players. Here's Zinchenko, nearly gets robbed of the ball there. Andre Santos, almost playing as the number 10 today. in the young midfield for Chelsea having to step in without the likes of Enzo and Caicedo. That's surely a foul there by Taiwo Awoniyi on Josh Achimpong. I think this is his third start in the league. Started against Crystal Palace on the opening day where Tosin wasn't fit. And then we saw him play that flawless first half against Liverpool in the first half. Unfortunate that he couldn't complete that game, but Chelsea win and he's fit to start again, so tick mark for him. And that's the man in focus there, number 45, Romeo Lavia for Chelsea. He is an outstanding player, but seldom takes the pitch because of the injuries that he's suffered since joining the club after that £50 million move from Southampton. Beautiful one-touch football here from Chelsea to evade the pressure. Here's Malo Gusto looking to carry in that right-hand side half space. Pedro Neto holding the width here, now drifting in field. Pedro Neto takes a bit of time to make his decision, drives into the box. It's a bit too much. Malo Gusto with the ball across, surely there. And it's a chance that goes begging. It is Andre Santos who's just leaning back before trying to pull the trigger. Good save there by Matt Sells. The Belgian had to be assured. Good movement here. Pedro Neto just electrifying in the box, just trying to create a bit of uncertainty. That is a very good ball into the box, and it was just slammed against the face of Andre Santos from that clearance from Murillo. Yep, just slams that across the Brazilian's face. Bright start again there from Chelsea. Exactly what you kind of need, especially at an away ground. Know that the crowd will be up for it. They're desperate for that first win under Ange Postecoglou. It's been a complete contrast, isn't it, in terms of styles and real aesthetics of how Nottingham Forest used to play and how Ange Postecoglou wants his team to play. They were very solid under Nuno. That backline was excellent. Oh, risky pass, but again, Chelsea play out of pressure beautifully. Lovely movement there. Excellent first touch by Joao Pedro. Looks to spin. Oh, surely that's a foul and a yellow card. That has to be a yellow card. That is a shocking call by the referee. He is not looking to play the ball whatsoever. Morato is completely taken out of the game. Oh, that is a cynical foul. It's a shocking call from the ref. Morato with the nutmeg back flick by Joao Pedro was a thing of beauty, but it's a foul for Chelsea. And now it's Reece James and Pedro Neto. Gusto keeps it short. Neto floats this towards the far stick. Is Garnacho. It's the acrobatics as Forest look to break here. Awoniyi is very strong, and that is excellent work from Chelsea. How is that a foul? Surely not. Elmar Cucurella and Andre Santos. The Chelsea sandwich there on the big, powerful centre forward for Nottingham Forest, who's got excellent ball carrying capabilities, that's for sure. Gibbs White being shut down. Oh, excellent first touch. Look at Achimpong just gliding with the ball. He looks so natural, doesn't he? At 6'5", he's got the frame, he's got the ball carrying abilities. I mean, Cobham has done it once again, hasn't it? Reece James, Achimpong and Trevor Chalobah. The back three from Cobham as Reece floats that into the channel for Joao Pedro. Of course, he times his run perfectly. It's Malo Gusto rather, but doesn't keep his control accurate on that occasion. Ange Postecoglou has seen his side concede 3 goals on a couple of occasions, including the Europa League games. It has been a terrible start, hasn't it? He's not got his team going whatsoever. Surely a foul. No, referee waves play on here. And Forest can't take advantage. Chelsea mop up swiftly. Might have been a foul there on Romeo Lavia. And we want to see Lavia. He's been tightly marked by Douglas Luiz. You can see the number 12. He's making sure that Lavia doesn't spin away, especially when Chelsea look to build out the back as Sanchez is forced to go long. It's a decent ball which Garnacho keeps in. Looked like he might have kept that in, but it hasn't. Not a bad start here from Chelsea. Not been overawed by the situation or the injuries. They've just carried on. Like to see Joao Pedro get a few shots though. Interesting to how he's played so far, as a risky pass there by Sells, and Reece James absolutely brilliant. Chelsea win the ball high up the pitch. Here's Pedro Neto, finds Reece James. Reece James cuts back onto his left foot, finds Gusto. Here's Lavia. Chelsea trying to camp outside the Forest box here. Excellent first touch by Garnacho. Garnacho, that Santos just loses out. Clever pass from Lavia. First time ball by Cucurella nearly sends Alejandro Garnacho through there. Intricate play from Chelsea as Neco Williams had to be sharp to cut that across. Good involvement there from Alejandro Garnacho. I thought he was excellent against Liverpool. His directness, some of his first touches were ridiculous, especially when Sanchez used to just ping those long diagonals on the run, the way he controls it and just keeps the momentum off the attacks. It's going to be a useful tool. And you can see the two pivot players. Oh, Chalobah, that is very risky. Reece James has to mop up, but he loses out. Here's Gibbs White, the skipper. Looks for the reverse pass. Chance here for Nottingham Forest. Oh, he trips over his own feet there. Huge let off there from Chelsea. But once again, the masters of our own downfall. It is the dangerous Elliot Anderson too. That is such a shocking pass there from Trevor Chalobah. He's not looking. He's looking for the reverse pass to Reece James, who's under pressure. Reece James's tackle has been broken, and now Gibbs White in the number 10 position can cause all sorts of problems. Elliot Anderson chops onto his right foot. Achimpong is there, and Gusto mops up. We'll talk about the two moments that Nottingham Forest have had at Chelsea so far, but that has come from sloppy play from Chelsea. Huge switch out there to Garnacho. Good first touch, but can't get around Neco Williams. Good first time ball there by Douglas Luiz, trying to find his centre forward, but mopped up by Rob Sanchez. It's looking like a lot more of an even game. I mean, it's 7th versus 17th. Chelsea have an opportunity to go back into the top 4 with a victory here against Nottingham Forest. Elliot Anderson, well, his stock since moving from Newcastle United to Nottingham Forest has just gone through the roof, hasn't it? He's been heavily favoured by Thomas Tuchel in that midfield area as well. Oh, it's so risky again from Chelsea. My goodness, but Sanchez deals with that expertly, and what a ball that is to Joao Pedro. Good first touch. Oh, could have set Alejandro Garnacho free there. Instead it's Joao Pedro who tries to do too much. Well, from the comical to the nearly brilliant as Chelsea somehow keep the ball. Romeo Lavia, excellent under pressure. That could have been from horrifying to elation there. Joao Pedro, such an outlet, man, when we play long. Here's Reece James on the right-hand side. Pedro Neto trying to take on Zinchenko. It's Reece James. First time ball into the box. No elevation whatsoever from the skipper. Achimpong, beautiful control again. His close control is excellent for a guy his frame. Good play on the left-hand side. Here's Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho drifts inside. Lavia, he's got time to turn. Achimpong, Chelsea patient in the Nottingham Forest half. Ooh, leaves it short there, but that's a clever touch there from Pedro Neto into the channel here for Joao Pedro, who's been muscled off the ball. Murillo is playing as that left-sided centre-back. You see Milinkovic as the right-sided one and Morato as the centre-back. Oh, lovely first touch there. Is that Elliot Anderson? What a touch that is around the corner of Malo Gusto. It was the England midfielder. Well, Eddie Howe spoke about how Newcastle were forced to sell Elliot Anderson to Forest at a cut price deal, which he felt that was going to haunt them, and he feels that is absolutely realized over the last 18 months. Here's Morato. Good pass, well kept there. I think that was strong there from Achimpong. I don't think he's done too much wrong, but it's a foul on the youngster. It's going to be a physical battle, that's for sure, and the physicality won't stop as well once Chris Wood takes the field. He is excellent too, isn't he, when he looks to hold up the play. Well, 12 minutes on the clock here. Chelsea yet to really trouble Matt Sells. Have been encouraging signs. Joao Pedro looks to once again chase. He was absolutely shattered in that Liverpool game. He's had to play all the minutes for Chelsea. I mean, Liam Delap's injury against Fulham, was it? That hamstring injury which set him back for about 8 to 12 weeks really did us a lot of damage. Mark Guiu being recalled from loan from Sunderland. He's a bit too raw. Might need time to just settle in with Carabao Cup games and maybe FA Cup too. But it's been Joao Pedro's have to play all the minutes as the centre forward. Really wanted to see that link up between him and Cole Palmer, which hasn't happened this season, barring just one game which Palmer did play in the opening game. Here's Milinkovic. Anderson. Good pass into the channel there. The first touch by Gibbs White is decent. Chelsea managed to clear though. Chalobah going for distance. It's now Forest's turn to try and just pin Chelsea back into their own half for the first time really. Here's Douglas Luiz. I thought he was excellent for Villa, wasn't he? Which earned his move to, a top club in Italy, in Juventus, but it did not go according to plan for him. Quickly out of favour. And he finds himself back in the Premier League for Nottingham Forest. They are playing European football as well, so it's not a bad move for him, but I would have hoped that his stint at Juventus yielded a bit more success. Not an easy environment, is it? Got the likes of Locatelli, Kefram Thuram, who's now playing on such a high level for Juventus. Well, heading into the first 15 minutes, Chelsea is still looking for answers. Reece James, Captain Zamban, now playing regular minutes for Chelsea. Such an unbelievable, sign for Chelsea. And that is Marinakis, the owner for Nottingham Forest, made that big call getting rid of Nuno Espirito Santos, who's since joined West Ham, replacing Graham Potter. So, change of styles for both clubs in West Ham and Nottingham Forest. Chalobah steps into midfield and wins the ball back. He just takes his time on the ball though to find Lavia. James to Achimpong. Chelsea fluid moving the ball around their back line, but have to be mindful of those couple of chances that we just gave away to Nottingham Forest, but all coming from loose passes from the back line. Here's Achimpong, Gusto, James. Achimpong again. Chelsea patient. Sanchez forced to quick long with his left foot. Good press there from Nottingham Forest. Oh, that's surely a foul there on Romeo Lavia, who gets there first. Couple of fouls by Nottingham Forest. I'm not really happy about it. This is Ibrahim Sangare. Let's have a look here. Oh, it is high. It's a high challenge. It's caught Romeo Lavia in a very uncomfortable position there, just above the boots. There's Enzo Maresca powerlessly watching along from the stands today. It was a shocking second yellow to give him. Celebrating a last-minute goal against Liverpool and an £8,000 fine too. Talk about excessive. It's Willy Caballero who's going to be the acting gaffer today for us. Sanchez again going long with his left foot. This time a bit more accurate, but Forest are winning the ball back quite comfortably as James gets the ball back. Here's Joao Pedro. Past the halfway line as he shapes the ball for Garnacho. Milinkovic is going to be struggling against Garnacho. Is not comfortable defending those wide areas. Garnacho has to target that right centre-back space, that's for sure. Murillo is a lot more mobile, I think, in terms of stepping up. Milinkovic is an accomplished box defender. Both are, but now that they have Morato, it just gives them a bit of security. Here's the ball carrying that we spoke about of Murillo, but it's not a good pass there as Chelsea easily cut that out. Cucurella, again, Chelsea have to be careful. They are. Sanchez, this time on his right foot. Oh, gives the ball away again, but the offside flag was raised for Chelsea. Forest can play on here. They had advantage. Chelsea win the ball back. Again, it's just shocking officiating, man. They're taking far too long. They had the advantage. Chelsea win the ball back. What more can you do? The first goal will be absolutely massive in this game, that's for sure. It's the old cliche, but Chelsea will need that first goal, especially away from home. It's not going to be a comfortable evening here. Those 3 points on the back of beating Liverpool would be a massive boost. You can just relax and watch the rest of the weekend, how it plays out. Tomorrow, of course, Liverpool host Manchester United. Liverpool, the champions, have really been rocked. They were 5 points ahead of Arsenal, and then a 3-game swing makes them a point now behind league leaders Arsenal. That's how quickly it has turned for the champions. And Murillo is just expressing himself as centre-back. That's the clever pass here. Don't think he's offside. Yep, he wasn't. That was a good timed run there from Alexander Zinchenko. Chelsea have to make sure that Those pockets are picked up. Zinchenko is a very clever player, and of course he's ex-Arsenal, so he will have that extra bit of motivation. Forest in the last 5 minutes have dominated possession. Chelsea again forced to go long, and once again with Sanchez's long kick with his left foot. That's the third time it has happened in quick succession here. Again, are we forced to go long? Garnacho it is. Good play there by Alejandro Garnacho. Knew that Chelsea were just struggling to try and keep the ball in those tight areas. Just drops back to make sure that he's an extra body there to try and link up. Again, this is the structure that worries me when Marc Cucurella and Malo Gusto are both as midfielders here. That's a strange bit of dynamics for Chelsea, which means Achimpong is the centre back and Reece is now the right-sided centre back. And when these two centre backs do split, it's Lavia who just drops in between the two. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts as Chelsea give the ball away again. It's a crucial point, and we get away with that time. Big let off there for Chelsea. It's Gibbs wide. It fell to the right player from a Forest perspective. Romeo Lavia gets caught on the ball in a really dangerous position. He's far too lackadaisical. Gibbs wide, looking for the top corner. It's another massive let-off for Chelsea. Oh, he's not judged the ball perfectly here. Achimpong does well. Surely now for Forest. It's Gibbs wide again. This time on the stretch. Chelsea are getting away with murder here. Absolute mess at the back. Oh, Josh Achimpong cannot allow that ball to bounce. He does well. Douglas Luiz's header is clever. It's right across the face of goal as Gibbs wide on the stretch. Cannot direct that on target. And that's two huge opportunities for the Forest skipper. And it has fallen just before the 20-minute mark. Ange Postecoglou knows what a massive chance that was for Forest to go ahead. Chelsea all at sea. Couldn't have been a worst phase of play from the Blues there. Terrible, absolutely terrible defensively, but it's just poor mistakes really. Garnacho muscled off the ball, but it's a foul. Pretty fortunate from a Chelsea point of view. Neco Williams just trying to nip in front of the Argentine forward. Yep, it's a foul there. Oh, those were two big chances. The first one for Gibbs White, you thought he was just going to wrap that into the top corner. He tries to be too perfect, gives too much purchase on it. The second one was a difficult chance, but Forest played so well. Romeo Lavia, we need him to step up in this game. And I would have thought that Enzo Maresca would have liked to give Moises Caicedo a bit of a break, but make no mistake about it, 45 minutes into the second half, we will surely see Moises Caicedo in the midfield as Chelsea look all at sea here, but we have a free kick yet to really test Matt Sells. It's a curious free kick into the chance, clears that away. You take it short and it's Malo Gusto of all players who's trying to float that in towards the back stick. Garnacho and Marc Cucurella both making runs. The offside flag raised too. This is not the start that we're looking for. It's clever in terms of its inception, but both Garnacho and Cucurella were offside. But the good news for Chelsea, it's still 0-0. The bad news is we really need to step it up because Forest now have had 3 attempts. Chelsea have had none. And you can see Awoniyi is so physical against Malo Gusto. Good carry there on the right-hand side from Pedro Neto. Oh, Forest win the ball back. Pedro Neto not looking like much of an outlet besides his pace. Romeo Lavia being dragged all over the pitch here. Forest playing around him. And they get the foul. Well, Lavia needs to calm down here. And that's exactly what the referee is saying here. Halfway through the first half, Romeo Lavia, he's been all over the pitch in terms of his positioning. His tackling has been so and so, but that huge chance that he nearly conceded for Chelsea, it really could have resulted in a goal. Here's Milenkovic. Gibbs White will be lamenting those two chances that went. It fell to the right player as well from a Forest point of view. Whoa, Chelsea have had a rocky first start to the first half here. As I mentioned before, the good news from Chelsea's point of view and for Maresca, it's still 0-0. But for how long though? Again, off the bench, we do have Gittins, Estevao, and of course Moises Caicedo. So those are the three obvious substitutions for Chelsea. Mark Guiu is also an option if João Pedro is just struggling physically. We haven't seen anything from Andres Santos, have we? He has been pretty much all over the pitch there. His challenge gets broken there. And it's now Gibbs White on the right-hand side. Good feel of pass there from Anderson on the right-hand side. Neco Williams cuts that across. It's a good bit of defending there from Malo Gusto. Willy Caballero trying to organize his team, but Forest are trying to start and find some spaces now in uncomfortable areas for Chelsea. Here's the Welsh wing-back on the right-hand side. You can see Ibrahim Sangare, just the way that he just protects the midfield, allows Elliot Anderson to push forward. It's almost like an auxiliary number 10. Here's Milenkovic. Bit of space here for Williams. Into the right-hand side channel here, but a little too much there for Gibbs White. And I think the first half would really have pleased Ange Postecoglou. They've done exactly... talk about carrying his instructions to a T. They have taken the game to Chelsea. Chelsea have not responded well. The makeshift team seeing a lot of fullbacks in midfield for Chelsea. It's only Romeo Lavia really as that natural centre midfielder. You can see why Chelsea have struggled, and it's again long balls to João Pedro. Once again João Pedro nearly making something out of it. You can see what Chelsea are trying to do in the first half, trying to avoid the Forest press, tried to play out the back a couple of times. We've seen success, but on a couple of occasions it's been shocking. Cucurella can't keep the ball again. Chelsea lose the second and third ball. Here's Elliot Anderson who looks to turn. Good strength there against Malo Gusto. Well, a massive 20 minutes coming up for Chelsea here. Have to make sure that we at least take a clean sheet heading into the second half. Good flick on there, but Chalobah wins the challenge here. Malo Gusto. Again, you want to see Andres Santos in those areas, don't you? He's playing as the number 10. Just feels like a lot of players being shoehorned in this system. Saw Gusto in that midfield area against Liverpool. Did give us a carrying opportunity. And when Cucurella starts misplacing passes, could be a long day for Chelsea. And Sanchez's passing accuracy. I blame the Chelsea players for this because they're making Sanchez having to clear first time on his left foot, and this has happened 4 to 5 times already in 25 minutes. This is not good in terms of trying to play out the back. Even if you're trying to go long, at least on his right foot, the pass has to be better. Cucurella started off with that errant pass. Chalobah as that left-sided centre-back looks all at sea when Chelsea are trying to build out the back. Need to try and get either Jarell Hato or Cucurella as that left-sided centre-back. Just gives us a bit more balance, really. Can we see Reece James as a right-sided centre-back with Achimpong in the middle? Another midfielder maybe to give us a bit of control in the second half, that's for sure. I think the change would be Caicedo for Chalobah, but I don't see... Oh, that's a very good pass there towards the far stick. And Sanchez had to be very much vigilant at the front post. It was Murillo, and Chelsea looking for a quick break again. Just feels far too haphazard from Chelsea who are trying to attack. This has not been a good first half, and it has been a pattern that has been emerging from Chelsea in the first 7 or 8 games this season. This game you kind of get a bit of a pass because of the big names that are missing for Chelsea. Haven't seen Romeo Lavia try and dictate here, but it's Forest who are keeping the ball here, making Chelsea do all the chasing. Chelsea going man-to-man here off the ball. If Forest do manage to beat this, they could be in business, but Cels is forced to go wrong. Good press there from Chelsea. Pedro Neto's header is not accurate, but he does try and win the second ball. That's surely a foul. That is the second foul, and that is Gibbs White again. Could that be a yellow card? It's the first touch that gets away from him. He lunges at Pedro Neto. How is that not a yellow card? We saw Morato early on. The blatant jersey tug on, was that Malo Gusto? It was Joao Pedro rather. And Forest had a chance there with that free kick, but instead it's a free kick for Chelsea. We've been taking them short on multiple occasions. Reece James does have a hammer right foot, but expect him to just clip this towards the far stick. You can see Achimpong and Pedro, it was Garnacho rather, who's just trying to go on the blind side of Neco Williams. Might be the obvious pass here. Malo Gusto is in acres of space on the right hand side. It's Reece James, and he's tried to catch out Matt Sells. Comfortable save for the Belgian goalkeeper, who had an absolute worldie of a game last season at Stamford Bridge. Could not get past him. Here's Elliot Anderson. He's been all over the pitch as well. You can see him as that number 10. Now dropping in as a number 6. That's a good pass into the channel here. It's Douglas Luiz. Romeo Lavia, attending to his defensive duties, does very well. Belgium against Brazilian. Forest again composed on the ball. This is what Ange Postecoglou will bring to Nottingham Forest if he's given time. Make them a lot more of a better footballing team. Yes, defensively they've had their questions asked. Oh, good play there from Garnacho. Again working hard defensively. It's a risky pass. Chelsea somehow play out the back. Oh, so hectic from Chelsea. Here's Morato. Of course, there is a Chelsea connection on the bench for Nottingham Forest. Callum Hudson-Odoi is on the bench. Ooh, Lavia goes flying into the challenge there on Douglas Luiz. It's a foul. And Lavia is fortunate not to pick up a yellow card there. I think the referee extending some of that goodwill to Chelsea there. That's a clear foul and a yellow card from my perspective. But Romeo Lavia seems to have gotten away with that one. 30 minutes on the clock. Massive 15 minutes coming up at the City Ground. Chelsea pretty much just looking for the clean sheet here. Garnacho has been playing deep in Chelsea territory as he looks to carry here, but Elliot Anderson is very strong. Again, from wing perspective, Chelsea do have Jamie Gittins and Esteval. Very young core, isn't it, for Chelsea? Doubling down on the youngsters. It has been the clear model for Clear Lake since taking over from Roman Abramovich. Good tackle there from Andres Santos. And Chelsea win the ball back. Here's Joao Pedro. Get a bit of space here. Excellent centre forward play. Beautifully done there from Joao Pedro. Sets Garnacho free on the left hand side. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Alejandro Garnacho trying the Trivela, the outside of the boot pass on his right foot. Does not come. That was a poor pass. Again, Joao Pedro in his moments. Brilliant again from Andres Santos. Chelsea motor forward as Malo Gusto needs to quickly release the ball. Instead, he just hangs on to it. Chelsea finally trying to get a few passes. Again, Chalobah nearly gives the ball away. It's shocking from Chalobah. His passing has to be better. Remember Badiashile in those pockets against Liverpool. It was just brilliant. Our first goal came from Badiashile finding the pass to Gusto. This shows you what angles do in football here as Neto's on the right hand side. Flashed across, but it's straight down the barrel for Matt Sells, who quickly releases here. And it's a foot race. Achimpong is quick and he's composed. Heads it back to Sanchez. Quick release here. Chelsea looking to get a move on. Trying to pin Forest in their own half here. Pedro Neto on the right hand side. Looking to run at Alexander Zinchenko. Goes around the outside easily. Ball into the box. Well defended. It's Elliot Anderson again for Forest, who's in the mix of things. Malo Gusto wins the throw in for Chelsea. Well, if this is a boxing match, you would say that Forest are slightly ahead. They've landed a couple of big jabs at Chelsea, but nothing to knock us out yet or knock us to the ground. But Chelsea have made it easy for Forest on a couple of occasions, haven't we? Here's Chalobah again as that left-sided centre-back. Makes me very uncomfortable. It's all wrong foot play here from Chalobah and now from Sanchez. Again forced to go along. this is something that needs to be remedied by Enzo Maresca. It really does hamper our build-up play so much. Here's James to Gusto. Gusto in midfield. Switch of play onto the left-hand side. Asking a lot from Garnacho. Oh, again, it's not controlled at all. And again, it's just feels like square pegs and round holes here for Chelsea in this team. Today, I think Moises Caicedo could not come sooner on the pitch for Chelsea. This first half an hour has been, I think, all at sea. And the only positive for Chelsea has been that we haven't conceded. Haven't seen much from Lavia or Andre Santos. Santos has just been pretty much a body in the midfield. Chalobah trying to wrestle Avonier, who's done so well on the ground and still manages to keep the ball. Excellent from Forest's point of view. Here's Neco Williams. Chalobah misses the challenge. Chelsea get away with it because Reece James is alert. Flies into the challenge on the left-hand side. Forest know that they're very much on the ascendancy here. Poor pass from Malo Gusto. It's back-to-back bad passes. We cannot have Gusto in the midfield here. We're really struggling. Far too many fullbacks in midfield for Chelsea. This cannot continue. And from a Forest point of view, they know that Moises Caicedo very much might be coming on in the second half, and they need to capitalize from their point of view, because they know the midfield battle will completely change once Caicedo enters the arena. But till that time, they should try and take advantage, and fair play to them. Look at that. Sangare easily gets away from Gusto and Joao Pedro and wins the foul. Enzo Maresca looking concerned, and he's completely powerless watching on from the stands. Talk about the script being written early kickoff. Chelsea looking for back-to-back wins here after a nightmare 3-game stretch against Brentford, Manchester United and Brighton at home. That 3-1 loss was really damaging. Again, a long ball forward. They're going for these long diagonals which have not worked. It's really poor from the Chelsea players as well. They have to take a bit of an ownership. Yes, they're out of positions, but basic principles still need to be adhered to. Here's Elliot Anderson, who has done all that and more for Nottingham Forest in midfield. Garnacho does well, but Sel should be first, and he clears that away. Avoni is strong. That's good play there from Achumpong, but again, you can see Andre Santos just looking like a fish out of water here. Joao Pedro trying to make himself a nuisance. Forrest popped the ball easily around the Chelsea press. You can see Malo Gusto also, he's pretty much getting license to play anywhere. Don't really want to see that from a Chelsea point of view, do you? Even though he's trying to follow some of his runners, just vacates so much space in midfield on that right hand side when he does do that, forcing Achumpong to step in. Here's Lavia. Again, his first start for Chelsea, and I don't even know how long. Just feels like Tottenham Hotspur away was his last start. Achumpong carries the ball about 40 yards and then gives it away now. Chelsea vacate the space. Lavia gets there first. Proper challenge from the Belgian, and now Garnacho can carry. Good pass onto the right hand side. Pedro Neto is onside. Chelsea in the business here. Oh, that's a poor pass there from Pedro Neto. Well, Neto gets into such good positions, but his final ball really does let himself down so many times. Good play there from Lavia and Alejandro Garnacho on that occasion. Here's Romeo Lavia. Gusto. I think one of Gusto or Chalobah have to be one of the ones taken off for Caicedo. Brilliant from Neto again. Beautiful play. Floats it towards the far stick. I think Pedro Neto has shown good endeavour, adventure, but his final ball has been absolutely shocking. It's a real shame. You get into those good positions when you know you're capable of doing so much better. He's got a better box threat in Joao Pedro. He's not maybe Liam Delap in terms of attacking those balls, but he's got to give his players a better chance there. Well, Enzo Maresca must be on the phone here with his assistants. Make sure that the substitutions And then just the tactics change here, because it really hasn't worked for Chelsea, has it? It's been a tough and arduous first half, but I said this before and I'll say it again. The positive, it's still a clean sheet. It's still 0-0, and all it takes is a goal to change it for Chelsea. Gusto, tricky pass. It's very poor from Chelsea. We get so lucky that Lavia is fouled. Gibbs White is on him like a rash. Oh, Malo Gusto. I do feel for him, but he's been playing in this midfield role for a couple of seasons now. Garnacho goes around the outside brilliantly. Good burst of pace there. Garnacho keeps his balance. Goes around the outside brilliantly. Loses his balance, but Chelsea do have the ball here. It's Lavia again. Quickly hands it off to Garnacho. Here's Reece James in the midfield area. Now Pedro Neto. Gusto's on the right-hand side. Instead, it's a clip pass. It's clever. Chance. Andre Santos! And that's the first opportunity Chelsea have created, but it's a shot over the crossbar. It's well worked. Reece James hands it off to Pedro Neto. Good run here from Joao Pedro, who is onside. His knockdown headers right into the path of Andre Santos, who has to adjust. It's a tough volley, but it's a first shot in anger for Chelsea, and it's taken nearly 40 minutes for it. Gibbs White on the left-hand side to Zinchenko. He's got runners, but he decides to deliver. Good ball. Even better keeping there from Sanchez. It's one of his strong points. Rob Sanchez does go flying in to claim those crosses using his 6'6" frame. Here's Achampong. He's had a tough outing, but he's holding his own against strong, powerful, old-school style centre-forward in Taiwan Ovonyi. Well, Ange would have been very pleased with the first 40 minutes here, that's for sure. I think that the way that they've competed, gone against Chelsea, yes, injuries and have played a huge part for Chelsea. Not able to field their strongest 11, but in terms of getting enough quality to try and give Forest a game, haven't really ticked all the boxes. As you look at Forest's bench there, Dan and Doy on the right-hand side could change the game for Forest. Beautiful play there from Joao Pedro. Such a smooth operator when he turns. It's another foul there by Morato. He has followed Joao Pedro about 70 yards up the pitch. He commits the foul and he picks up the yellow card. Excellent from Joao Pedro. Again, you want him to see this in and around the box instead of in his own half, but this is what he's forced to do when he doesn't get the service. He's having to play as the provider, and fair play to him, he keeps going. Another free kick here for Chelsea. It's another position where we've had this on a couple of occasions, where this channel where we can just try and float that. We haven't really taken advantage of any of the free kicks. It's been long balls forward, or if you do try and take it short, it is towards the far stick. Another magnificent turn there from Joao Pedro. Clips that over the top. It towards Malo Gusto. It's Andre Santos. This time a much better opportunity. Drops onto his left foot. Just tries to find the bottom corner. Joao Pedro is playing some sensational football here. Look at this. For a touch around the corner. Gusto is onside. Santos is definitely onside. Gusto does the right thing. Lets it go for Andre Santos, who crashes the box nicely, but his effort is just pulled wide. Chelsea finally coming to life right towards the end of the first half. Andre Santos with a couple of attempts. We have seen 2 attempts from Morgan Gibbs-White, and we have seen 2 from the youngster Andre Santos. Chelsea finally lodging attempts. It's been a long time coming, but that would be encouraging. Excellent from Andre Santos. Yes, he's had a tough first half, but he's finding the right spaces. He's making the right runs. Here's Anderson with a quick scan over his shoulder. Finds Neco Williams. What a reverse pass that is. Chalobah is quick, and he reads that well, and he wins the free kick. Trevor Chalobah, clever there. Knew that once he got there first, he could make it a difficult one. This is a clever reverse pass from Neco Williams, isn't it? In the way that he just angles that in. Anderson wasn't happy with the decision, but has to move on. Well, 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain in what has been a very difficult first half for Chelsea at the Forest ground. They're finally getting some sort of a foothold in the game in the attacking third. It has been Andres Santos, but it's been Joao Pedro who's been setting it up beautifully. Elite player, really. I mean, the first one was that typical centre-forward run where he gets into the box, he just heads that back into the danger area. And the second one where he just spins away from the player and then just clips the ball over the top behind the back line for Andres Santos to run onto it on his left foot, but on his weaker foot couldn't get the accuracy. That goal would have been a real sucker punch for Chelsea to land on Nottingham Forest just before the first half, and it will be a goal kick for Chelsea. Good defending by Marco Correa. The Brazilian and the Spaniard, Douglas Luiz and Cucurella, two combative players in their respective positions. Ange Postecoglou knows that the first half has been as good as it's gotten for Nottingham Forest under the Aussie manager, but they haven't been rewarded with a goal, and that would concern Ange Postecoglou, who was beaten by Chelsea in both legs, really. They lost 4-3 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They were 2-0 up, remember, as it was Cucurella who lost his balance on both occasions. Spurs scored, I think it was 2 goals in 10 minutes, and then Chelsea pulling it back. We were 3-2 up. Cole Palmer had a ridiculous game. So did Enzo Fernandez, who scored the third. It was a remarkable victory. The first big victory for Enzo Maresca as Chelsea boss. It's a tough away ground as well. You wouldn't have forgotten it, but the home leg was a much more closer game, wasn't it, when Enzo Fernandez scored the lone goal. Good play from Andres Santos. Clever back heel there to Malo Gusto. Pedro Neto drops the shoulder. Pedro Neto! Oh, he's looking for the top corner. It was just sailing over once it took off. Matt Sells would have been concerned. Good direct play there from Pedro Neto. Eyes on the ball, just looking to just curl that over. It's not far, is it? It is just clipped the top of the net. Chelsea coming to life right towards the end. We got about 30 seconds remaining in stoppage time of the first half. Enzo Maresca looking on. We had a few notes, definitely a lot of thoughts. He's got a good vantage point, doesn't he? Matt Sells goes long. Ooh, Andres Santos and Lavi are getting in each other's way as Forrest decides to go for the clearance there. Chalobah does the same. I think Chelsea will be relatively pleased to take this clean sheet heading into half-time, which is definitely the positive, as the half-time whistle has been signalled at the City ground here. 0-0 the scoreline here. Ange Postecoglou would have been very pleased with the way that his team have gone out there, expressed themselves, created good opportunities. Morgan Gibbs-White, the skipper for Nottingham Forest, on both chances, spurning his opportunities. And as for Chelsea, it was a tough first half, really. A lot of players having to play out of position to deal with the number of injuries and the suspensions that we have. We have struggled, but we have hung in there some way, somehow. It's 0-0 at the City ground. Surely from a Chelsea point of view, we will see Moises Caicedo in the second half. Cannot afford to waste any more time. It's half-time here. It's 0-0 the scoreline. Really just knew it. You knew it's going to be a tough game, and that's exactly what has transpired. Nottingham Forest have given Chelsea a real game here. Well, in terms of a couple of key points that I've had gripes with from a Chelsea point of view is square pegs in round holes. Now, yes, we have seen a lot of versatility from the Chelsea players who can play in multiple positions, but when you're in a position which is maybe foreign to you, you want to give the best opportunity for the player to try and excel in that position. Now, what I mean by that is now Trevor Chalobah in this system, when we do have the ball, is playing as that left-sided centre-back. Now, he's got all the attributes to play as centre-back, sure, but then when Chelsea are having to build up and build from the back, he really is struggling because he's having to receive the ball from his right boot onto his left, which is his weaker left foot, and then he struggles. And then he's just looking to chip the ball aimlessly into the channels or go back to Rob Sanchez, who's also on his weaker left foot when Chalobah is playing that. That has happened 4 to 5 times in the first half, and that is, I haven't even been keeping count because it has been happening. It's such an ISO from a Chelsea point of view. Now, could Maresca be a bit brave here and bring on someone like Jarell Hato for someone like Trevor Chalobah? Because Hato gives us the balance as that left-sided centre-back. Yes, he's not as tall as Trevor Chalobah, but on the ball and his ability to drive on his favoured left foot will give Chelsea a better chance to try and build out the back. Now, Achimpong has had a good game, so has Reece James. Can we see Reece James maybe coming to that right centre-back role? And then we see maybe Malo Gusto coming off for Moises Caicedo, who is an absolute no-brainer, who has to come on. I mean, Enzo Maresca I applaud him for trying to give Enzo Fernandez, of course, is not free, but Moises Caicedo some sort of a rest because it's been non-stop. He started all 38 games last season in the Premier League. He completed 90 minutes, I'm sure, for most of the games. He started all games for Chelsea in the 7 games that we've played so far, and this is the first time that he's missed out on the starting 11. But we need to get him back in the midfield. I think when Caicedo and Lavia plays the 2 pivot players for us, Chelsea's game automatically will change. That's for sure. Again, we've seen Pedro Neto having a decent game at right wing, but his final ball has been lacking. He had a shot right towards the end, which might have troubled Matt Sells. It was sailing over, but other than that, it's been a bit disappointing from Pedro Neto. I think Alejandro Garnacho has worked hard defensively to help out. Again, you want to see a bit more, but it needs to be released a lot quicker. That's when you have someone like Enzo Fernandez or a natural midfielder there who can just release that quick pass into the channel for Alejandro Garnacho to try and attack. That has not happened. You see Garnacho having to pick up the ball in his own half and try and dribble out of space. I think Joao Pedro has been brilliant again, but another thankless 45 minutes for him. Yes, it will show us yet another 45 minutes where Joao Pedro has not registered a shot, but the 2 excellent bit of centre forward play that we've seen from him. He's having to do so much work in our own half, which is taking away a lot of his excellent play in and around the box. But that first time cushion header for Andre Santos, a difficult attempt on the volley which went over the crossbar, but his second bit of skill at the halfway line to turn away from Ibrahim Sangare, chip the ball between the back line and the goalkeeper for Andre Santos to run onto it on his weaker left foot, mind you, and that one was just screwed wide. That was the best chance that Chelsea had in the first half, but it's 0-0 here at the City ground, and Chelsea need a win here to get back into the top 4 and put the pressure on the chasing pack. A win with the early kickoff, especially after the international break, that would be a huge boost for us, carrying on from the momentum that we had after beating Liverpool with the last gasp winner courtesy of Estevan Willian, who definitely should, and that needs to be cut out in the second half. We cannot be seeing those stray passes, especially from the back line, almost playing it blind into midfield. I mean, that is just inviting so much trouble. We're looking at some of the chances that Chelsea did create. I think the creation happened far too late in the first half, but the positive is that we did manage to create. I think Forest got a few of the decisions very much fortunately in their favor in that first half. So the foul by Morato on Joao Pedro was absolutely cynical as hell. I mean, that had to be a yellow card. Need to get some things changed. I mean, you see that Brighton are playing Newcastle next, and then we got Manchester City hosting Everton, and of course the 10 p.m. India time kickoff between Fulham and Arsenal. Really set up Saturday, and tomorrow, Super Sunday, of course, Manchester United going to Anfield tomorrow. I mean, when has we have not seen this in the last, I would say, 8-10 years maybe, where Liverpool are hosting Manchester United and at Anfield, and Liverpool fans, players, staff, everyone are jittery. That has not happened under Jurgen Klopp, that's for sure. And it is happening under Arne Slot, because if Manchester United somehow pull a victory at Anfield, whoa, that would be a huge, huge statement, not just for Manchester United, but for Liverpool, who splashed all this money after winning the league, going with a 4-game losing streak, which has not happened in, 30, 40 years in their storied club. And that has to change. That really has to change. Knew this was going to be tough 90-minute assignment. Away ground, especially after the international break. I don't see how Chelsea. I don't even want to entertain the thought of just getting a point. That will not be enough. We have to get a victory, especially after beating Liverpool. I mean, this is where you want momentum to be on your side. I mean, if this game goes the way it's going right now, say it's a draw or it goes against Chelsea, that is one win in 5. That is not good. I mean, yes, we've had problems in terms of injuries all season long. Cole Palmer has played just 90 minutes, and if you add just the 20 minutes at Old Trafford, and he's going to be missing until December, we have to make our peace with that. There's nothing we can do about it in terms of trying to acquire a player, bring them back from loan. We have to deal with it. So Palmer is gone. Now, how do we find solutions? It's a big gamble here not to start either. When Enzo and Moises Caicedo, one of them have to start, especially if one of them is fit. We cannot take this risk again. A better team in better form might have punished us in the first half. So it is, I think we've gotten away in the first half, but Forest will continue to press, that's for sure. Well, 45 minutes could really change the mood. It really would. It would definitely boost my weekend. Heading into it, watching the other games, hoping for other teams to drop points, because if Chelsea drop points early on here, this could be a very long weekend for us as we fall further behind the chasing pack. This invites so much trouble, so much trouble. We will wait and see how aggressive Enzo Maresca is in making the changes. Personally, for me, the three changes that I would make, first would be Jarell Hato for Trevor Chalobah, give us a lot more balance in our build-up. And Moises Caicedo for Malo Gusto for sure. And then on the right-hand side, if you see Estevao coming on for Pedro Neto, that would be beneficial for us. But oh, look at this. The three substitutions are going to happen. Fair play to Enzo Maresca for making it, but I've gotten only one out of the three right. Moises Caicedo will be coming on. So will Jamie Gittins and Mark Guiu. This is bold from Maresca. No surprises to see. Let's see the three players that will be coming off. It's a huge boost as well for Jamie Gittins, that's for sure. Being trusted ahead of Estevao. Will we see Garnacho maybe playing on the right-hand side? Oh, this is a strange decision as Romeo Lavia has come off for Moises Caicedo. I expected Caicedo to come on, but not for Romeo Lavia. That's a strange decision. Lavia may be just ready for 45 minutes. Mark Guiu has come on for Alejandro Garnacho. And of course, Jamie Gittins will be playing as the left winger. I want to see who change has been made as Igor Jesus coming on for Nottingham Forest. You can see that Ange Postecoglou, despite his team having played well, forced to respond to the triple substitution that Enzo Maresca from the sidelines has made here. Chelsea, again the right move here, not looking to waste any more time here at the City ground. I think it's Douglas Luiz who has come off for Nottingham Forest. A bit more of an attacking move here. We might see Igor play as that right winger. Well, the three substitutions have been made. Chelsea looking for a movement here as we're all set for the start of the second half. João Pedro still on the pitch, which means that he will drop in as the number 10 for Chelsea. I think that means Andres Santos might be coming off as well. Here's Pedro Neto, immediately looking to link up with Mark Guiu, who gives us a lot of endeavour and heart and effort and try. Here he is immediately. Of course, the La Masia graduate who immediately wins a corner for Chelsea. He will be buzzing around the 18-yard box rather, and allows João Pedro to almost play in his natural position as that number 10 in the absence of Cole Palmer. Surprised that Malo Gusto is still on the pitch though. Here's Cucurella. Gittins. Caicedo immediately getting touches on the ball here. Pedro Neto. Ball towards the far stick. It's for Achimpong. His header is comfortably into the hands of Matt Sells. Good leap there from Josh Achimpong, who's definitely got the height over Alexander Zinchenko. Garnacho, André Santos and Romeo Lavia all making way after that 45 minutes for Chelsea. Gittins, Guiu and Moises Caicedo, who will just change the dynamics of our midfield. I would have really liked to see Romeo Lavia get another 15 minutes, to be honest. Maybe with him and Caicedo would have given him a lot more confidence. It's a good switch out here, but Chelsea win the ball back comfortably. Caicedo immediately gets on the ball and finds Sanchez on his right foot here. Good pass into the channel. Here's Zinchenko into midfield. Good first time ball there by Jesus, but they win the ball back. Is Chelsea. Gittins gets robbed off the ball, but João Pedro in the number 10 position. Now he's got a runner in front of him. Pedro can carry, and he's done exactly that. Brilliant from João Pedro again. He's won the foul and the free kick. That is such clever play from João Pedro. Again, all by his lonesome here. He knows he has got very little options. He's just taken a touch ahead of the second half substitute. Igor Jesus coming on for Nottingham Forest, and it's a free kick for Chelsea. Decent position here. Again, we have to take advantage of these situations. Neto is the left-footed option. Reece James the right. Chalobah, Achimpong, Joao Pedro, all in the box to try and attack this for Chelsea. Might be having Moises Caicedo at the edge of the box as well, who scored 3 goals in 7 games for Chelsea. His best return by far, and that's not even his main attribute. James with the ball into the box. Oh, it's cleared away comfortably. Gusto keeps the attack alive here. Chelsea still have bodies committed in the box. Pedro Neto runs on the outside on his left foot, tries to get the ball into the box. Chance there! 1-0! It's Josh Achimpong! The youngster delivers for Chelsea. Pedro Neto with a pinpoint ball on his left foot. And how about that? Your first goal for Chelsea. The youngster, the academy boy, rises the highest with an unstoppable header to give Chelsea the lead. Outstanding from Josh Achimpong, whose stock keeps on rising week on after week. It's a loose giveaway here. Brilliant from Pedro Neto, who floats that into the most perfect area. What a start to the second half this has been for Chelsea. Oh, that is magnificent. On the money, Achimpong there. Chelsea have the lead. No chance for Matt Sells. Enzo Maresca can't celebrate. Oh, we needed that. We needed that big time. Chelsea have added another box threat here. Could see Mark Guiu being one of the players that Nottingham Forest had to mark there, probably leaving Josh Achimpong with all that space. And the 18-year-old does not need a second invitation. That's his first Premier League goal. What a time to score in a very tough away ground. Remember, the academy graduate Levi Colville scored at this very ground to secure Champions League qualification for Chelsea last season. Brilliant play there here. Surely that's a foul there on Mark Guiu. Chelsea absolutely balling out here. No surprises that it's Joao Pedro again in the thick of things. Good turn here from Mark Guiu. You can see Morato. Morato is so lucky. He should have been on a yellow card. Again, he's avoided a card somehow. Well, 5 minutes into the second half, it's all changed here for Chelsea. That Josh Achimpong goal has changed it completely, the complexion. Can we capitalize and score the second soon after here? Again, it's the usual suspects for Chelsea. The left foot of Pedro Neto, the right boot of Reece James. James had a pop from distance, from a further range than this. That one was comfortable for Matt Sells. This one, a bit more of a favourable distance for Reece James. Can expect that right foot. It's not that far, about 21 yards away. 21, 22 yards away from goal. Pedro Neto can get this one on his left foot. He would be confident after getting the assist. Lets it go. Pedro Neto! It's 2-0 to Chelsea! The man who turned provider now scores. Reece James takes it short, just a touch to change the angle. And Pedro Neto rifles one in to the bottom corner. Matt Sells gets a hand to it, but there's too much force on it. And after a horror 45 minutes for Chelsea, it has completely switched in 6 minutes. Oh, Sells has to do a whole lot better there. It's a powerful strike, but he's gotten both hands to it. And he's just palmed that into the back of the net. Ange Postecoglou, you can see, just drops down onto his haunches. He knows that his winless streak will continue if things carry on the way it is. And he wastes no time to bring on the former Chelsea player, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Well, Hudson-Odoi coming on for Douglas Luiz. As Marinakis, the owner of Nottingham Forest, watches on as his new head coach has had problems after problems. And Pedro Neto, who delivered the most perfect of crosses for the first goal. Scores the second, and now Chelsea, from a position of stress, have a bit of comfort. How quickly things change in football, man. That it would have been a hammer blow, an absolute hammer blow for Ange Postecoglou. Chelsea now have an opportunity. Try and extend the lead here. And the main remedy here will be the clean sheet. Absolutely, yes, the clean sheet. Ooh, that's a foul there, possibly by Malo Gusto. It's a high boot. He'll pick up a yellow card here, Malo. Can't fault his effort to try and thunder into the challenge. Milinkovic just waits for the ball to bounce. As soon as he does that, you know that Malo Gusto will be there. Well, Ange Postecoglou just getting a taste of real bitter medicine in very quick time. I mean, he'll be cursing those missed opportunities, that's for sure. But the way that the game has just turned in a matter of 3 to 5 minutes will really be a gut punch for him. And this is where he'll find himself having to pull out a coaching performance to try and unsettle Chelsea. Well, fair play to Enzo Maresca. You have to give him credit. The triple substitution was not just a change in personnel, but it was a change in intent. And that's exactly what we saw from Chelsea. They're very much on the front foot. We saw Joao Pedro now dropping in as a number 10, where he's been doing a lot of the good work in the first half. He's gotten a focal point now in Mark Guiu, and that has given Chelsea a lot more balance, and that really has helped our cause. We cannot underestimate what we have seen there, as the presence of a proper centre forward can really change your life. Well, it's an opportunity now for Chelsea. We saw this against West Ham, where we just had a flurry of goals in very quick time, and West Ham did not know what hit them. And this is an opportunity maybe for Chelsea to use some of that set piece situations. We have defended well. Should be able to clear this one. Gittins has got a bit of space here to open his legs and really run at Forest. Instead, it's Pedro Neto on the right-hand side. Oh, the outside of the boot pass was there. Instead, it was well defended. You can see Joao Pedro had made the run. I think Joao Pedro has a right to be cross here with Pedro Neto. He's got a lot of space to really bend this around. Alexander Zinchenko doesn't complete the pass. Enzo Maresca will be a lot more comfortable now sitting in the stands here. The changes have worked. Guiu, again, he's working hard here. He's really making a case here for Chelsea to get regular minutes. He may not be ready to start, but in this scenario when there's no Cole Palmer, no Liam Delap, you need a number 10. Yes, if Enzo Fernandez does play a lot of games for Chelsea, so he will play as that auxiliary number 10 if not available, but this system and this personnel balance does a lot. And you can just see when Caicedo just slots into the midfield. Yes, he might have not done too much, but he just changes the game. That's brilliant from Guiu. He's gotten there first. Tries to chip the keeper. Tight angle. Oh, the offside flag, I think, has been raised belatedly there. It's a push off the ball. Mark Guiu, very clever there. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a clear foul there on Morato. On the back of him. Again, that's very good from Mark Guiu. See Joao Pedro do that a lot in the first half, but then Mark Guiu just making himself a nuisance as well. Making sure that Morato is not going to have a comfortable second half here. Well, the 2 goals in quick time has just shattered Nottingham Forest, really. The game has completely flipped. They had the 3 attempts before Chelsea had even 1. But since I think that 40th minute mark, ended the first half very well and started the second half brilliantly. I think Matt Sells will be disappointed in the manner of which that second goal was conceded. Reece James with a delicate touch for Pedro Neto, who fired that on target. Since then, Forrest have given the ball away again. Here's Joao Pedro's in the box. He's got options. Joao Pedro goes for goal. Tries to catch Matt Sells at the near post. Well, that's what we want to see from Joao Pedro. Taking shots in the box. Forrest give it away. Joao Pedro's balance is brilliant here. Just gives the keeper the eyes. He had the opportunity to maybe square it, but looks for the near post. Pulls that wide instead. This is a much better second half from Chelsea. Here's Gibbs White on the right hand side. Again forcing Forrest back. Again, this is where Moises Caicedo in midfield makes all the difference. Forest are thinking twice before they pop the ball in the midfield area because they know that Moises Caicedo will just quickly come across. Talk about having a pretty much a comfortable half an hour. But Chelsea need to add the third here. Malo Gusto with a curious chop. Gives the ball away. Here's Zinchenko. Good ball into the channel. He's opened up the space nicely and Rob Sanchez sweeps up very well. Hugo Jesus had made the run. He was onside. Just cooks the pass a little too much. Here's Trevor Chalobah. Running into the space. Excellent carry there from the centre-back, but forced to go back to Marc Cucurella. Here's the man who started things off for Chelsea, Josh Achumpong. If he could add a clean sheet to his goal, I mean, that would be a perfect one. Good play on the right-hand side here for Pedro Neto. He's into the box, cuts that across. Oh, Mark Guiu's first touch is very heavy. Look at Caicedo. Immediately makes himself known in the middle of the park. It's a foul there on Gibbs White, who was just looking to turn there as soon as the ball dropped to him. But Caicedo giving him absolutely no change. Well, heading into the final half an hour for Chelsea. Might be job done here. Had to weather the first half, but fair play to Maresca's men. Well, Jamie Gittins has an opportunity to make an impact here. Forrest will be looking for a goal at least. Will leave a bit of space on the right hand side, especially with Milenkovic trying to push forward. Jamie Gittins has an opportunity to really run at that left hand side. A different problem for Milenkovic rather to solve. Here's Hudson-Odoi. First involvement against his former club. Here's Elliot Anderson. Finds the number 7. Good first time ball. Here's Elliot Anderson. Cuts that across. Chance here for Forrest. And he's leaning back off balance completely. Is the right wing back Neco Williams. I think that's Jamie Gittins as well, helping out defensively. Fantastic work from the winger. He tracked the wing back. Excellent. Very good. Decent ball into the box. That is the best chance that Forest have had. And it falls to the same man again, Neco Williams. Two big opportunities for Forest. Ange Postecoglou knows that his team cannot keep creating these excellent chances and not take advantage of it. This is wing back to wing back. Zinchenko puts it on a plate to the Welshman. It's a difficult technique, but he has to hit that on target. Chelsea get away with that one again. Well, this might look like a comfortable 2-0 victory, but it's been anything but. Mark Guiu does brilliantly to spin away. Here's Pedro Neto. Malo Gusto. Good ball into the channel. Mark Guiu on the slide. Good save. Matt Sells makes sure that he wasn't nutmegged on that occasion. Milinkovic sweeps up. That could have killed the game off. Mark Guiu getting his first opportunity in the box. Well-timed run. Takes his shot off quickly. Matt Sells doing very well to keep it at 2-0. Well, this game could have clearly swung in terms of the scoreline. Neco Williams could have pulled a goal back. And in the very next attack, Mark Guiu could have put the final seal on this game. Chalobah does really well. So does Joao Pedro. Chelsea win the ball back. A lot more aggressive in their attack. Here's Achumpong. On the right hand side, Pedro Neto. Switch of play is there, but he keeps it short instead. And Chelsea finding goals when they really needed it. The defenders helping out big time. Achumpong with the goal. James with the assist. Lovely play. Look at Reece James, man, like a gazelle, but a powerful gazelle. Oh, as I say that, he's lost the ball, but Caicedo mops up brilliantly. Here's Joao Pedro trying to find Gittins. Gittins just holding the width on the touchline. Caicedo's first touch just gets away from him. Trying to just play that around the corner. Forrest on the attack here. Hudson-Odoi up against Josh Achumpong. It's Jesus on the left-hand side. Here's Hudson-Odoi again, who would like to just cut in on his right foot to try and curl this. Chelsea have to make sure that they defend against it. The two substitutes combining here for Forest. Elliot Anderson, clever pass into the channel here for Hudson-Odoi. Ken cuts in on his right foot. Space opens up on the right-hand side. Here's Milinkovic. Williams tries to go around the outside. Cucurella defends well, and it's a corner for Forest. Chelsea make sure that they don't lunge into any of the challenges. Delay the attack for as much as possible. Get enough bodies back there. And they manage to clear the danger away. It's a corner here for Nottingham Forest, though. A goal for Forest would really change the complexion of the game and give them a much needed boost to try and attack the last 30 minutes of this match. Corner comes in. Headers on target. What a save by Sanchez. Stays alive. It's another brilliant save. Rob Sanchez. Oh, that is miraculous from the Spaniard. The first save is brilliant. How about this for a quick response, though? Milinkovic's header was destined for the bottom corner. He quickly gets up, though, Sanchez, after making a brilliant save, and denies Ibrahim Sangare. Well, Forest have created more than their fair share of opportunities. It's another corner for Chelsea to defend. Sanchez, a huge reason as to why this still remains 2-0 for Chelsea. Corner comes in again. Chelsea looking to clear. Malo Gusto has to clear for sure. I think the offside flag just allows Chelsea to have a bit of a breather. That is a magnificent save from Rob Sanchez, who really does owe Chelsea one after his horror sending off against Manchester United at Old Trafford. I mean, it was within the first 10 minutes and completely killed the game off for Chelsea. But that is a big save, massive save. Well, Ange Postecoglou will be looking at this game, looking at all the chances his team have created, and he'll be just asking his fans to just give him a bit of patience, because what more could he have done in terms of coaching chances from open play? Gibbs wide, what a strange decision for goal. Instead, it falls onto the right-hand side. Chance here, Sangare lets it go. Curious decision by the Côte d'Ivoire midfielder. Chelsea get away with another Nottingham Forest attack here, but chance to turn defense into attack. Here's Gittins. He's got runners. Outside of the boot pass is good. Malo Gusto. Oh, it's cleared away by Murillo. Cut back by Gusto was good, but it's on his left foot. It was just into a dangerous area rather than get that to the feet. Finally, the game settles here for Chelsea. 24 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Chelsea looking to get back into the top four. A victory here with a clean sheet. I mean, back-to-back victories for Enzo Maresca. Heavy touch by Joao Pedro. Gets away from him. He should just simplify his game. He's got a centre forward now. Excellent from Achumpong. What a read that is. And his cushion header is accurate too. Achumpong has barely put a foot wrong in this match. We saw about 50-55 minutes of him against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, and now against a tough team. I mean, maybe they're not in the right moment here, but Nottingham Forest away is not an easy test. Josh Achumpong has just ticked that one. They've just taken a shot at the Forest box where Marinakis, the owner of Nottingham Forest, was in attendance, and now I think after those quick fire 2 goals has decided to focus on his primary business ventures. Cucurella with a good pass between the lines here to Joao Pedro. Here's Caicedo. On the right hand side to Joao Pedro, to Pedro Neto rather. Pedro Neto absolutely decisive in this game. A pinpoint assist and a good goal to give us a quick 2-0 advantage. And this is where Chelsea will be in their element. Just keep the ball, navigate the play, just tire out Nottingham Forest. We still have 2 more changes that we can make. I would like to see Joao Pedro coming off here, not for anything that he's done wrong, but in terms of just giving him a bit of a rest. Maybe see Bonanotte as the number 10. And Estevao coming on for maybe Pedro Neto to give him some rest too, because Chelsea have midweek action against Ajax at home in the Champions League. Here's Malo Gusto, left-footed. He does this every match where he goes for a shot on his weaker left foot. Falls to Pedro Neto though. Looking to make yet another impact for Chelsea. Neto, decent ball in, and it's Mark Guiu's header. It's a difficult chance for him to try and get some sort of elevation. He's trying to use the pace on the cross. It was hit with a bit of pace. Just needed to direct that header and try and guide that towards the far stick instead. Goal kick for Nottingham Forest. Made a couple of changes. Pedro Neto, once again the focal point. Good touch there by Jesus, but gets away from him. Caicedo keeps it short. Reece James. And this is what Chelsea do best. When they have the lead, when they have things in their favour, unless they do something absolutely foolish, when they do keep the ball and pop it around, we look like a very accomplished team. Oh, it's very risky from Pedro Neto. Could have fallen anywhere. As soon as you start praising Chelsea a little bit, they go out there and do something foolish. What a pass that is by. Brilliant cushion header from Gittins. He loses out the duel. Good pass into the channel. It was a punch-through ball to Morgan Gibbs-White, but too much on it. Well, Chelsea about 20 minutes plus stoppage time away from allowing me to enjoy the rest of the weekend. Joao Pedro gets caught in a dangerous situation here. Sangare, Elliot Anderson. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Achimpong is happy to show him the line here, not allowing him to cut back. Chance here! Big opportunity! Should be able to clear, and he does. Oh, we get away with that one again. It's Jesus who could have pulled a goal back here, and Chelsea on the break again. It's Mark Guiu! Oh, it's well over. Well, Nottingham Forest definitely deserve a goal back. Good bit of play here from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Oh, we get away with that one. We just so lucky. Forest keep coming closer and closer. Sanchez does so well to... Oh, he doesn't do anything at least. He hits the crossbar, hits the post, and Chelsea get away with that one again. How many chances will Nottingham Forest keep missing here? Chelsea, well, this scoreline really does flatter us. We should be at least... Forest at least deserve a goal back. I have to keep this absolutely 100. Chelsea have gotten away with it. Neco Williams had 2 glorious opportunities, and this time it falls to the right person. Jesus hits the crossbar and comes off the post. They could not come closer. Well, how long will Chelsea's luck continue here? Because at this point, the reason why we might just have a clean sheet is because of Forest's inability to finish excellent chances. Well, Enzo Maresca knows that, yes, the main remit of this game would have been just getting all 3 points by hook or by crook. But my, oh my, if some of those chances were converted, this would be a completely different last 20 minutes. Well, Ange Postecoglou knows that he needs a goal, and he needs one right now. He's bringing on more reinforcements. And the New Zealand centre forward, Chris Wood, taking off Taiwo Awoniyi was a curious decision by Ange Postecoglou. He got the movement of Igor Jesus, who gives Chelsea a different problem to solve. Here is the Brazilian. Williams should have scored. Williams again into the box. Good defending by Chelsea. Danger still alive, but Cucurella gets that away. Joao Pedro, lovely first touch. He's such a throwback footballer, isn't he, Joao Pedro? Well, the double substitution being enforced here by Ange Postecoglou. He knows his team have come dangerously close to at least pulling a goal back here for Nottingham Forest, but they still have time. I think they score a goal in the next 5 or 10 minutes. It could be such an awkward end to the match for Chelsea. Alexander Zinchenko coming off. Chris Wood coming on as Murillo's evening comes to an end as well. Zinchenko and Murillo coming off for Nottingham Forest, and it's Chris Wood and Savona, the Italian, coming on for Ange Postecoglou. And Chelsea they pretty much have to try and navigate the next 7 or 8 minutes. This is where someone like Romeo Lavia, if he was there to come off the bench, would have given us extra bit of control. He had a difficult 45 minutes, but was the only midfielder really. Here's Hudson-Odoi, who did clip in that brilliant ball in for Jesus. Sangare, decent pass into the channel. Gibbs wide, goes for the shot. Cucurella quickly comes across. Good defending by the Spaniard. That left back spot for Spain really is stacked, isn't it? They've got Balde, they've got Grimaldo and Marc Cucurella. So for Luis de la Fuentes, it can't really go wrong with any of the three options, is it, as left back? So it's a really tough position. All three have enough reasons to stake a claim as the starting left back for their country. Balde coming back from injury for Barcelona, huge boost for club and country. Grimaldo started the last game, but it is Cucurella, isn't it? He started most of the Euro campaign, which ended up with Spain lifting the trophy. Milinkovic on the right hand side. Chelsea trying to bite into the challenges. That's a foul there, possibly by Cucurella, who's very aggressive in his approach. His tenacity is one of the reasons why he is the player that he is. Forrest popped the ball around nicely, but Chelsea defend that situation well. Malo Gusto's header. Joao Pedro is absolutely saucing out in the middle of the pitch. I mean, he's a true Brazilian, isn't he? No DNA test is required. Such a smooth footballer. What an acquisition he has been from Brighton. I mean, good pass there by Achumpong. Nearly finds the target. Again, it's Forrest who are allowed to open up here. And it's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Clever back heel here. It's Elliot Anderson. Cuts that across. Sangare with the effort. Catches it at the outside of his boot. And it's just the kind of afternoon, isn't it, for Nottingham Forest. The chances keep on coming. But they keep getting further and further away from goal. It's the right idea from Josh Achumpong in terms of finding the pass. But as soon as the ball is turned over, Chelsea are in trouble. This back heel from Callum Hudson-Odoi is so good. Caicedo's block got the ball to the Côte d'Ivoire midfielder, edge of the box, about 25 yards away. He just pulls that effort wide. Chelsea survive yet another Nottingham Forest attack. Well, Chelsea star boy Estevan Willian coming on for the final phase of the game. Will be for Pedro Neto mostly. Will we see maybe Joao Pedro coming off and Estevan playing as the number 10. Mark Guiu tries to bring the ball down there, but another turnover from a Chelsea point of view on the right hand side. Again, good work here from Jamie Gittins. Has shown great defensive endeavour in this match. Hasn't really gotten on the ball since coming on the pitch, and it's a bit unfortunate from his point of view. Yep, like for like swap down the right wing for Chelsea. Pedro Neto coming off after an evening's job. Very well done by the Portuguese international. An absolutely brilliant assist for Josh Achumpong. And after turning provider, turned goal scorer 2 minutes later after Reece James just laid it across about 20 yards away. Shot on target, helped by Matt Sells, but giving Chelsea the comfort that we have. It hasn't been smooth sailing for Chelsea whatsoever as Estevan Willian comes on. He's got instructions in his hand too. Just hands it off to the skipper, Reece James. It's a long list too. I think the sky cameras will definitely catch a few glimpses of it. Here's Elliot Anderson. A bit too much on the pass there for his countryman and captain Gibbs White. I want to see what the tactical change is here from Enzo Maresca. Of course, the words will be executed by his team on the touchline. Willie Caballero is there. Everybody getting the note passed around here. Gone from... I think we need to quickly ball up the paper and throw it away. So the longest that we've seen a piece of paper in the hand, Moises Caicedo acting as the on-the-pitch coach as Chelsea try and restructure. Joao Pedro does well there. Jamie Gittins. It's a clever pass there by Malo Gusto on his left foot too. Oh, it's stolen away by Milinkovic. Very nicely done. There's the Serbian who shows outstanding composure. Here's Neco Williams, who's had 2 excellent chances to pull a goal back for his team. Game's a bit stretched here as Igor has dropped very much into his own territory here. Now on the right hand side, Nottingham Forest. Oh, it's a heavy touch, but still protects the ball. Here's Sangare. Fizzes the ball onto the right hand side. First time ball into the box. Chris Wood was there to attack. And it's excellent composure showed by Reece James. Made sure that he had an eye on Callum Hudson-Odoi. Good pass by Reece James again by Malo Gusto on his left foot. Very accurate. It's good defending there by Reece James and good composure shown there by him. Oh, what a first touch that is by the skipper, and he wins the foul. Beautiful football there by Reece James. Just plucks that out of the sky. Well, Jesus has come the closest for Nottingham Forest in the hopes of trying to pull a goal back. Fouls the Chelsea skipper on that occasion. Chelsea need to get rid of the notes there. It's still on the pitch. Need to take care of that. It's got all our tactical information on it. Let Forest figure it out rather than just read it from a piece of paper. Heading into the final 10 minutes now. Is Reece James getting a yellow card here? Surely not. He was the one who was fouled on that occasion. Surely Reece has to attend to the paper, and he does. I think by now everybody would have gotten a fair idea as to what Enzo Maresca has passed down to his team. Reece James getting rid of the evidence in his socks. And we should be ready for the last 10 minutes here. You know that Enzo Maresca will be eyeing defensive solidity here, but with Esteban Willian on the pitch here, he's got 10 minutes to really attack the Forest back line. Josh Acheampong has come off, and it's Tosin Adarabioyo who's come on for Chelsea. A lot more experience coming in here. Both players are tall in Acheampong and Tosin, but Tosin will be a natural at that centre back position. Sanchez deals with that nicely. Caicedo turns. Chelsea player beautifully. Reece James looking to just feed that into the channel there. You can see Malo Gusto is almost playing as an advanced number 10 here. That's the kind of versatility the coach is demanding from Malo Gusto. Here's Elliot Anderson. Estevao, brilliant. He does so well, the Brazilian. Excellent to win the ball back. And now he's running at the Forest defense here. Estevao still has the ball. Estevao looks for the shot. And it's Jamie Gittins who can recover the ball and circulate it back. That is the kind of impact you want to see from Estevao. He's not waiting for the ball to come to him. He's going there and he's hounding players to get it back. Cucurella in the channel here. Joao Pedro. Beautiful turn again from Joao Pedro. I've said that 5 or 6 times in this match already. Again, Chelsea keeping the ball. Very professional here. Joao Pedro just throws the defender down. He's got the skill. He's got the power. Just want him to take a few more shots from the edge of the box. Saw that against his boyhood club in his very first game for Chelsea. Saw that dinked finish in the Club World Cup. Great touch there from Gittins. The back heel is great. Cucurella, cutback is good, and it nearly found a chance there. Reece James looking to smash that in. Malo Gusto has been eased off the ball there by Morato. Chelsea keep it alive here. It's Esteban Willian. Esteban with the shot. It's a corner for Chelsea, and that all comes from the endeavour shown by the forward players. Reece James was just looking to thump this one in. He absorbs the contact. It's a real poor giveaway there by Elliot Anderson, as Marc Cucurella was quickly there to close him down, and Esteban not needing a second invitation to try and get goals in back-to-back games in his young Chelsea career here. It's a corner for Chelsea as Esteban delivers. Good ball in, cleared, 3-0! It's the captain who adds the seal to the points. On the volley is Reece James, and talk about an impact from Esteban Willian. His corner caused all sorts of problems, and it's the captain who lashes it home on the volley as Ange Postecoglou's team once again concede 3 goals, this time at home to Chelsea. Well, this is a game where the scoreline does not reflect the entire story, but it also shows you how cruel the Premier League can be. Good ball in here from Esteban from the corner. It's a devilish delivery. Keeper punches. It's straight to Reece James on the volley. Right on that 12-yard penalty circle, really. He just keeps that on target. And it's 3-0 to Chelsea, and it's all 3 points for the Blues. It really does boost our goal difference too, doesn't it? Keeping the clean sheet, scoring through 3 goals, and Chelsea with Enzo Maresca in the stands put the seal to all 3 points. And it's a tale of missed opportunities for Nottingham Forest, and Chelsea being ruthless in front of goal. Well, Ange Postecoglou just watches on in a forlorn manner. I mean, he must be wondering how this game has gotten away the manner at which it has. The 2 academy graduates for Chelsea score. The captain, Reece James, adding the 3rd after Josh Achumpong's bullet header gave Chelsea the lead 3 minutes into the second half. And since then, well, Chelsea have scored the goal, but the alarming thing which Enzo Maresca wouldn't and shouldn't allow the players to forget was the chances that Nottingham Forest created when the scoreline was 2-0. And this is not a good sight, really. It just adds the fuel to the fire watching drones of Nottingham Forest supporters heading to the station. All the pressure, all the cameras back on Ange Postecoglou. It started off with that hammering at the hands of Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium to start off his career as Nottingham Forest boss. Oh, Chelsea have a red card here. I think it's Malo Gusto. It's a needless foul. Malo Gusto goes lunging in. Chelsea continue the record of having a player sent off in the last 5 games. It was Enzo Maresca who got sent off last game, and about 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Malo Gusto with a terrible decision to lunge in. He's on a yellow card. He picks up his 2nd yellow, and Chelsea now will have to navigate the last 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time with 10 men. Oh, this pattern has to stop here for Chelsea. Callum Hudson-Odoi's ball into the box is cleared away by Trevor Chalobah. It's a corner for Nottingham Forest. Well, the red card from Chelsea's point of view might be at the decent time considering the job being done. 3-0 up, 3 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. But man, oh man, what should have been a comfortable, easy end to the match might turn into a bit of a tricky one. Corner's poor, it's cleared away off the front post. Esteban Willian is really making an impact since coming on. Not just delivered the corner for the 3rd goal, but defensively he's been excellent. And Reece James Sees the ball out for a play, and it's a goal kick for Chelsea. Well, nearly job done for the Blues. Nearly job done. You can see that shot. It really is a bad sign, isn't it? The fans exiting the stadium, trying to beat the rush hour traffic. And as it stands, Ange Postecoglou's men, well, they're 17th before kickoff. They will remain 17th here, but they have their rivals all playing after this. And the goal difference would be a huge blow to them as well, conceding 3 goals and not scoring any. Chelsea with 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining to be 4th in the Premier League soon after the international break. Caicedo bites into the challenge. Here's Estevao Willian running down the right-hand side. Ooh, Morato gets a bit fortunate, courtesy of his fellow countrymen who just nudges him across. Estevao has to be careful here because he'll pick up a yellow card. This is just a lack of discipline from Chelsea with 90 seconds plus stoppage time remaining. Yellow card for the Brazilian. Then Chelsea have had to really dip into their squad right till the end. Know all the players that are missing courtesy of injuries. Now Malo Gusto will miss the next Premier League game courtesy of a 1-game suspension, picking up that needless second yellow card for a lunging challenge. Cross comes into the box. Chalobah gets that away, but not too far. Here's Ibrahim Sangare. Gibbs White could have given Forest the lead in the first half. His chances went begging. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi up against Reece James. It's Cobham versus Cobham. Good defending by Reece. Here's Elliot Anderson. Oh, it's excellent from Estevao. His defensive contributions cannot be forgotten. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Floats this towards the far stick. Excellent defending by Cucurella, who judges the flight perfectly. Chelsea desperate for the clean sheet here. We have worked tremendously hard. We have rode our luck. Now it's all about finishing the job. It's another corner here for Nottingham Forest. Chelsea taking till the end to try and get us to concede. Good defending and a whole bunch of luck. And some poor finishing from Forest's point of view has kept this at 3-0 as we're into stoppage time here. Forest conceded 3 goals in the Premier League in the previous game just before the international break. And soon after, it seems like another chastening defeat for Ange Postecoglou and Nottingham Forest. Well, 5 minutes of stoppage time has been signalled. Chelsea will just look to take their time and just run the time out here. The job's been done. It was difficult. It could have been a case of easily dropping points. But we have done the job. Rode the first half. Been very clinical in front of goal. Achimpong, Neto and Reece James all on the score sheet for Chelsea in the second half. All 3 points, 3 goals added to our goal difference. Level on points with Spurs though. I think he's just a point behind maybe. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Again trying to go past Reece James. Absolutely no chance. Reece James is an absolute tank. There's no way to try and get around him. Ange Postecoglou. What do you do as a coach here when you're facing so many troubles? Everybody is just almost waiting for you to get sacked. Results go against you. You've played a game which is not a 3-0 game. And you get absolutely nothing from it. And the pressure continues to mount. Well, from Postecoglou's point of view, I think what he has to do is just almost show the clips to his team as to the chances that they created, number one, because they created some awesome chances, and the types of goals. The 2 goals that they did concede, the 3 goals really were, from a Forest point of view, probably avoidable. But that's football at the top level. If you do not pay attention to fine details, you could pay the price. ball across the face of goal. Milenkovic's first touch is heavy. Chelsea looking for a break here. Oh, it comes off Gittins' arm. Well, Gittins knows that there's not much he could have done about it, but it's a free kick that prevents a counter for Chelsea. He would have had, what, 3 or 4 on 1 there, but instead it's a free kick for Forest. Well, 2 minutes of stoppage time remain here for Chelsea. The main remit here will be to leave the City ground. Not just the 3 points, but with the clean sheet. Gibbs White to take this free kick on that right-hand side. Clips that into the box. Free header! But that pretty much sums up Nottingham Forest. It's Milenkovic of all people as well. Let's see whether or not he's onside. He is very much onside. I think it was Chris Wood who was onside, but it was Milenkovic's header. It was a free header, but far away from the target. And that moment pretty much sums up Nottingham Forest in front of goal this evening. They've gotten into good areas, but they have not put the ball in the back of the net. And you can see from Ange Postecoglou's reaction, shake of the head. He knows everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. The old Murphy's Law here as we head into the final minute of stoppage time. Chelsea closing the game down with 10 men as Sanchez picks up a yellow card for time wasting. Chelsea have picked up so many needless cards in the final phase here, but it's all about game management. Here's Elliot Anderson, who, to his credit, really did try his best. Ends up once again on the losing side here. As this carries on here and Forest's form does not pick up, you can see Elliot Anderson with the World Cup coming up next year trying to force a move in January to a club playing or trying to compete for the big prizes here instead of trying to battle for relegation. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Again, it's a ball into the box. Sanchez is there and he collects. It's a brilliant take from the goalkeeper. Chelsea nearly there, and the full-time whistle blows as Chelsea get all 3 points away at Nottingham Forest while keeping a clean sheet. No Enzo Maresca on the sidelines as he watches his team put on an excellent display in the second half. It was 0-0 in the first half. Chelsea did ride their luck on a couple of occasions after Morgan Gibbs-White had 2 excellent chances to give Forest the lead. 0-0 at halftime. Enzo Maresca was very much on the front foot, aggressive in terms of his changes. Made 3 changes at the break, bringing on Caicedo, Gittins and Mark Guiu. And soon after, you saw things change for Chelsea. Josh Acheampong scoring 3 minutes into the second half after Pedro Neto found him with a brilliant pinpoint left-footed cross into the box. And soon after, turning assister, turned goal scorer a couple of minutes soon after as Reece James's touch pass from the free kick was fired in from close range by the Portuguese. And just to make sure, right towards the end, Reece James scoring from the penalty spot when the ball just dropped in with Matt Sells punching the Estival corner. Reece James on the volley makes it 3-0 to Chelsea. Chelsea into the top 4. Just the kind of result that we are looking for before and after the international break. Full time here. It's